Travel to Lafayette, Indiana to the Rocketry Club in this zone investigation.
The high-speed winds could not stop the Friday Zone field crew as we traveled to Lafayette, Indiana for Thunderstruck, Indiana Rocketry Club's first launch of the year. Some 100 people trudged through Ash Grove Field to try their hand at homemade rocketry, and with 24 launch pads, a 12-foot tower for the larger rockets, and even a bucket of small rockets for the beginners, Thunderstruck had a little something for everyone. But this event was not always this large. Doug Jackson explains.
So we started meeting in my pole barn once or twice a month, and eventually one of the guys said, hey, you know, we need to form a club, and that way we can become formal, we can see who else is out there, and before I knew it, 5 turned into 10, 10 turned into 20, and today we've got about 40 members in our local club.
There was a buzz around the registration table as people registered their rockets for weight, height, and how far the rocket would fly, all of which fall into safety rules of the club.
Well, we have a lot of safety rules and regulations. A lot of kids are used to buying the ready-to-fly kits where they can just take the controller and fly it at home. We actually don't do that. We take control of that here and do the launching ourselves and make sure that everybody is behind the safety lines and that, you know, just to keep everybody safe. So obviously, the bigger the rocket, the bigger the motor, the further away you have to stay.
If participants were not on the launch pad prepping their rockets for liftoff, they were building, tweaking, or perfecting their rockets for the ultimate flight. We met up with Brandon, who told us what his prize rocket, the High Flyer, was composed of.
Fins are made out of balsa wood, and the tube was made out of cardboard, and the nose cone was fiberglass. And it goes about 2,000 feet.
Though some rockets are made from pre-made kits, others are made from scratch. So Doug explains why studying science and math in schools is so important in rocketry.
There is a lot of science and math because people think, okay, I can just stick a motor in this thing and fly it. Okay, yeah, you can, but what size of motor do you put into it? And then there's this thing that's called delay. What's that all about? Well, delay is how long after your motor burns out before the parachute comes out. Well, what is that so important? Well, what if the parachute comes out halfway through your flight? It's just going to rip the parachute off. Or what happens if the parachute comes out 10 minutes after it's on the ground? That's not going to do any good either. So the science and math of this is so important.
How high your rocket goes in the air is all dependent on the size of the rocket and the engine it packs. But remember, what goes up must come down. And to help with that are parachutes.
Apogee is when the rocket gets up to the height as it's supposed to go. When the rocket gets up to apogee, the ejection shoots the parachute up to the nose cone, and the nose cone pops straight out, and the nose cone pulls the chute the rest of the way out.
Brandon and his family know a lot about putting in time, sweat, and energy into building rockets, and he has high hopes to move up in the ranks.
I'm not yet all the way, I'm not a level 1 yet. When I turn 14 and when I go for my junior level 1, then after that I'll be a level 1 if it comes back safe.
So Friday Zone viewers, if you want to try your hand at model rocketry, Doug has some advice for you.
I would say for young kids, the easiest place to start out is to get involved in your local scouts or your local 4-H, because there's nothing like somebody mentoring you and telling you, you know, what it's supposed to do and, you know, how it's supposed to put it together. Wherever you're from, you know, there are launches that are held, you know, not too far from you.
So no matter what the age or location, you and your family should be sure not to miss Indiana rocketry launches, because you're sure to have a blast.
That's all the time we have for today. We hope we have inspired you to go outside and try something new. We want to thank Stacy Ratford Vincent for helping us navigate our way through science. We also want to thank Natalie Owens for teaching us about the sport of archery.
And I want to give a big thanks to Emmy and Gracie for helping us this zone today. Girls, I hope you had fun and are excited to get outside. Well, if you have a fun outdoor activity that you want to share with us in the zone, you can write to us at www.fridayzone.org. And you can download this and other episodes of the Friday Zone for free on
Remember
iTunes.
to live, learn, and play the Friday Zone way. See you here next week. Now go outside, go play.
Go play. You can shoot for us. We're
Yeah, you
excited.
can shoot.
You guys can sit over here.